no get the time for the hate and the bad energy. Come
hey guys, welcome back to another video with your girl Pretty, and this is Pretty Moment. And you know what time it is. It's been a minute since I sat down to do a video, and I just decided, let me just make this video for you guys before I head to work. So I am set and I'm going to work. You guys, one thing about me and light, this light is affecting my eyes, and I'm trying to keep up because I must shoot this video. So I came to realize that in all videos that I've made, and I mentioned China, I mentioned Vietnam, I don't really give details, right? So I said, let me just sit down and share some of the important things that if you are out there and you wish to visit Vietnam, especially for teaching, or even China, you know, these are some of the things that you should know. And just in comparison, you know, it's now up to you to decide. So I'm just gonna go ahead and mention 5 things, and yeah. So hello and welcome back to another video with your girl Pretty, and this is Pretty Moment. To all my returning subscribers, what it do? And those of you that are seeing this face for the first time, hello, my name is Pretty and this is Pretty Moment, and I am currently in Vietnam, most of you know, and I am doing teaching. And just to go back a bit, some of you already know that I also lived in China for 3 years before COVID happened, right? So yeah, after COVID, 3 years after, I am in Vietnam doing teaching. So here are 5 things that I want to point out, and it's more like the difference between China and Vietnam, right? So number one, I'm going to talk about conveniency. This has just been my problem since I got to Vietnam. So I want to talk about conveniency in terms of everything, right? Number one, I'm going to talk about transportation. So China, guys, is top 2 and not 2. Like, China, guys, I know a lot of people that I've said this to them. They always say, why would you want to compare China? Like, are you playing? Are you joking? Like, stop capping. And I'm like, I'm not capping. It's just crazy because I'm in Asia, and you know, you look at the history, they tell you that, oh, before the war between China and Vietnam, this country, like, it was just one country before they actually, you know, fought and divided. And now, you know, you look at China and you look at Vietnam and you're just like, something is not make sure. And you know, they tell you that a lot of what China have, they take it from Vietnam. And you look at China and you look at Vietnam, you're just like, you know. So in terms of convenience, I'll first of all talk about transport. Transport in Vietnam is the pits. And I know that somebody that is in Vietnam might not agree with me, maybe based on this location that I chose for myself. Where I am in Hai Giong, mode of transport here, it's just like all this bike, the Okada that they use in Nigeria. We don't really have bikes like that in South Africa. We do scooters for delivery. We know bikes in SA that they are for deliveries, you know, and not for transportation. But here in Vietnam, we use bikes a lot, which is the same as China, but I'm gonna go ahead and explain, right? So in Vietnam, we only have bikes, and we only have what's this, cabs, right? So now, and if I am to take a cab every day to go to work, it means I'll be spending half of my salary on transportation. Because when I did the math was not mathing. I was just like, what? So meaning, if I am to take a bike every day, I'm to take a cab every day to go to work, I'll be spending 150 Rand on transport each day. That is going to work and coming back, right? And that's a lot of money. And I'm talking about like my workplace from where I live is like 10 kilometers away, but I'll be spending like 150 Rand. So now I opted for the bike option because it's lesser, right? So me using bike to work is like 25 Rand to go, 25 Rand to come back, which is still a lot of money. Meaning in a day I spend 50, but if I use a cab, that means I spend like times 3 of the 50 Rand, you know, if you get the math. So yeah, and if it's raining, it's compulsory for me to just use a bike, because to use a cab, because I can't be using, it's slippery. somebody's riding you, it doesn't make sense, so you have to use a cab. Now in China they have electronic bikes, which in Da Nang I did see some electronic bikes, but like it's not like it's everywhere the way it is in China. Like every corner, whether you're in the village in China, you will meet an electronic bike. And you guys, I remember when we used to take electronic bikes, those electronic bikes, they're like 2 kwai. 2 kwai is like maybe 5 rand. You know, you scan and it goes for 1 hour and it automatically locks. Or if you just travel, if you ride it from here to the next stop, like 1 kilometer away, and you stop it, it will lock. So if you want to go 1 hour, just take the bike and just go. You know, it will lock when it gets to where you're going. But anything more than that 1 hour, it starts to charge you more, right? That is like, you see. So most people, you know, that when you step out, you just take the electronic bike, you know, you scan, you pay, you move. You know, here you request, in Vietnam, you request for a bike. The bike guy will take 15 minutes of his time still coming. Maybe he's still dropping something somewhere, because the same bikes that are the same bikes that they use for deliveries. So maybe he's delivering food. I've like in 2 occasions I took bikes that were going to deliver and I was late. They were going to deliver food somewhere else, you know, before they could take me to work, and I'm just like, you know. So it's crazy. In China you have the luxury of just stepping out and here's an electronic bike, you scan, you go, you know. And there are cabs. The distance between here and like my house and my workplace here in Vietnam is the same distance with China and my workplace. It was just like 10 kilometers away. So yeah, and in China I remember I used to pay like 10 kwai. Like 10 kwai is like 20 rand, meaning that it's like 10 or 15 rand lesser compared to Vietnam. So when it comes to transportation, China was more cheaper compared to Vietnam, meaning I'm spending a lot on transport, whether I'm using bike or I'm using cab. So the money I am using here for bike is money that I would use in China for a cab, right? So a cab in China, I would pay 10 kwai to go, 10 kwai to come back. That is like 22 rand or 21 rand. It's less than 50 rand to go and come back. But in China, 50 rand is for a bike going and coming. So you see, do the math, you know that Vietnam is kind of like expensive, right, when it comes to that. Now we move to the second thing, being getting food, ordering food and all that. First of all, in Haiziong, I haven't seen before I could even see KFC in one corner like that, and the KFC closes at 10 p.m. is already closed. Before I could even, like, we struggled. I remember when I came here, I was eating noodles and bread every day, and it's crazy, you know. In Shenyang, where I lived in China for 2 years, it was a small city, but there was McDonald's, there was KFC, there was, you know, all these Western restaurants were there. Come to Haiziong where I live. Come to Haiziong where I live, in the street, you will just see them grilling dog meat. You know, it's just, it's guningi. But at the end of the day, you know that, oh, okay, I'm here for the bag, you know, I'm not here for the luxury and all that. But also it's very important that you know. Obviously in Hanoi, I remember last time I went to Hanoi, there's a vlog that I did when I went to Hanoi. I saw McDonald's passing. I was just like, wow, McDonald's in Vietnam, wow. So like other cities, they do have those things, but they are not easily accessible compared to China, right? So yeah, what else? Transportation, food wise, even going to the restaurants, like to look for to buy food, right? Before you can get maybe good rice, like basmati rice that you know, and maybe, you know, just West End brands and all that, is a struggle. The only thing I see that I know that it's not even the same, because even the bread, the taste is not the same. Like everything is just different. But yeah, let me just mention those two. And then number 2, we go to salary, because I don't want to make this video also extra long, right? Number 2, we talk about salary. Obvious, you know. China pays way better. China pays way better. And I'm going to talk about salary and the benefits. China is heaven, you know. China is heaven. Like, people that are in China, they don't know what China is doing for them. Like, you will never know until maybe you're not there and you're just like, man, I was just having the luxury. So I'm going to talk about the salary and the benefit. China pays way better. My first month in China, I think I was getting 26,000 rand. Sorry, and my second year I was getting 36,000 rand. Yeah, and then third year I was promoted, obviously, so I was getting more, right? I was promoted to being a manager, so I was managing other foreign teachers, training them, teaching them how to do stuff and all, because I remember I wanted to leave and my company said, no, you can't leave. And I said, okay, give me this amount. And they said, nah, you know, here it's a small city. And then I said, okay, allow me to go to the bigger city. And then they said, okay, cool, we are promoting you to train others teachers to do well like you. And yeah, so they increased my salary, right, from 36 up. So remember, these people were giving me accommodation, Wi-Fi, everything was catered for, water, whatever was paid, right? I was not paying anything, water, electricity, rent, whatever. No one was deducting anything from my salary. If we've agreed that you are paying me 15,000 RMB, my 15,000 RMB was 15,000. It never had to be deducted and broke down. If I show you my pay slip in Vietnam, you will fear. If I show you my payslip in Vietnam, the breakdown, you will fear. In Vietnam, the government takes 20% tax, whether you like it or you don't like it. And crazy, because some of the companies don't tell you this. They don't tell you that 20% of your salary will be taken, whether blue or black. 20% is going. Not even 14% that you know of from South Africa. 20% of your salary will be taken. You pay rent. I don't know, maybe there are other schools, but most schools don't give you accommodation. They do give you allowance, but also to live like in a very good, comfortable home like myself. I chose to live in a good home, like where the security, that looks neat. Like here we have a helper that comes and clean, wash your clothes, whatever. You need to pay for the service, right? So you need to pay more. They give you 3 million. What is 3 million? 3 million you cannot. There are apartments maybe for 3 million, I don't know, but where I am, my bill, like this month, I had to pay like 9 million. So it's a lot, you know. You take out that money from, so your salary comes, they take out 20% down, and then you pay your bills, and then you eat, then there's transport, then, you know, you must flex, you must look good, then, you know. So those are the things that you should know. But also, it also depends on how much they are paying you, how much are you able to save up. So after you do your calculation, you can know if I'm going to keep up with this or not, because you can't want to come here and you work and at the end of the day the only thing you're saving is 5,000. Like, you know, it doesn't make sense. So at least be able to still save up good amount for yourself, then you can know that I'm working. But if you're going to come here and after all the expenses you're left with 5,000, 10,000, you know, you can still work with 10,000 saving every month, but like, you know, you should be able to save up more, right? So that's the difference, guys. China, no one will deduct your money, no one will take anything from you, but here deduction galore. They don't even play with their Vietnam dong, as much as it doesn't even have strength. Like, it's a very weak currency, but they don't joke with it. If they, even when they paid for my transportation from the airport when I got here, guess what? When they paid me my first salary, they said 600,000 for transport, and I was like, 600,000 for transport of what? Like, from the airport. When they picked me from the airport in China, you know, the agent came, booked me a hotel, lodged me, made sure I ate 3 square meal a day, made sure I walk around, paid for my cabs and everything. Nobody ever told me that we are going to deduct this from your salary. In China, there were days where I would say I'm sick, I'm not coming because I just want to rest in my room, you know, and nobody's gonna take that from your salary. Vietnam, come and try it. And that's another thing that they don't tell you, that, oh, so here you work for hours, meaning the hours that you work are the hours that you're gonna get paid for. Then they give you the work, then you chill, you work, and your days that you don't make it to work, they don't tell you that we're not gonna pay you for that. And then they will break it down for you on your pay slip to say on this day you were not at work, therefore this money is minused. It's just crazy. It's just crazy. But like I said, it goes back to the company that employed you. Maybe also it goes back to the city where you are. But like, these are the things that you should expect when coming to Vietnam, right? Another thing, just to add to this, now that I'm remembering it, is the issues of permit. When I got to China from first, second and third year, I never had to suffer about my permit. I never had to even sit down and think and stress, oh, are they going to grant this permit? Am I going to have my permit? You know, things like that. I never had to worry about it. But for the first time in Vietnam, I was holding my heart. My heart was pumping. Am I going to get my permit? Am I, you know, I'm left with only 4 or 5 days now. I need to be calling them. Are you guys even doing my permit? Are you guys this? Are you guys that? And, you know, I was panicking. I was just like, so now I have to exit, you know, because most of people here are non-natives. Then every time their visa expires, they have to step out, go for visa runs, come back in and out. You know, the money that you'll spend, you know, maybe going to Malaysia or maybe going to Thailand, buy plane ticket, go there, you lodge, come back. This music is just making noise. You know, go to Malaysia, come back, and all those things, it will be from your pocket. They will not sponsor it. So I thought that was going to be my case, and I was now panicking. I was just like, you know, I'm with my passport. They did take my passport and said, okay, they did my medical checks, they did my police clearance. I did my police clearance here in Vietnam, and yeah, all that. And I thought, okay, they're working on my passport, until somebody said, ask them for your passport, and you'll see they'll bring out from the drawer. They'll bring it out from a drawer. And I asked them, I was like, please, I need to use my passport for something. Oh, that was the time I was going to Hanoi, and I thought I was going to travel to Da Nang. So there's no way I can fly without my passport. So I asked them, I was like, there's something that I want to go get in Hanoi, and I need my passport. And guess what? These people opened a drawer and gave me my passport. I was like, so my passport is just here chilling. Are they even making my permit, you know? And yeah, later I found out that, okay, they're working on my permit. And when they came back and they said 2 years granted, you know, everybody at work was trying to show me that, oh, we've done your permit, and here 2 years granted. I was just like, oh, okay, so they've done it. So I came to realize that, okay, here they don't really stick the whole thing on your passport. They give you a card, whatever. So, but yeah, they finally did my passport. But also, like, you know, I had to push. I had to constantly remind them that we are running out of time. While in China, in a space of a month, before the second month come, you have your passport. Like when you have your work permit stamped on your thingy, on your passport. So guys, the difference is just huge between these two countries. Workload, that is number 3. Workload. You know, when it gets to this workload of a thing, this is where I said, can I please just go back to my China jet, because what? The workload is not insane. Right now is 15:32, 3:30, right? I'm still in my house. I'm still sitting down. I'm still doing video. Fine. I start work at 5:30. My classes here, they are 1.5 hour, meaning is, yeah, 1 hour 30 minutes each class. So you do 45 minutes, you take a break, you do 45 minutes. And then you go to the next class, 45 minutes, 45 minutes. It's something that I wasn't used to, because in China, highest class that I would do, like the longest class that I would do would be 1 hour, but here's 1.5 hour. Fine. Then you only do, okay, like for me to go to work 5:30 and come back 8:45 is luxury. There are people that have been standing since morning. Get that? You know, I love it for me, for myself, but not until, you know, because especially with my company, they are trying to prove themselves that after COVID, they can still, you know, bring up and up the standard. They can still do things right. Then they're constantly trying to impress the parents. It's crazy. These people woke up and decided to tell us that we need to do reports. That is, you need to rate each student, and you know, you mention their strength, their weakness, and how to improve. And you don't just write one sentence. You need to write a whole fucking paragraph about their strength, or write a whole fucking paragraph about their weakness, write a whole fucking paragraph on how to improve. And that time, Teacher Happy has 150 students, and they give you a deadline. Now you will be typing like a mad person on the computer. Mind you, all that work, you are doing it at home. you know. So you go to work, you teach, you come back, you're busy on your laptop. It's not like an everyday thing, but like it's too much, man. Like in China, I never had to print anything, but which for me, I like it for the fact that it's experience, right? You know, you gain experience on this and this and this and that. Hey, here you will print. You will get to, you print this, you know. Our students have 4 books. There's Chunkies, there's Palette, there's this one, there is this one. Hey, you will you will print. That time you find that the printer is in Vietnamese, you need to just figure it out, get the work done. You will China, what I hated is that the fact that it even snows heavily. You wake up in the morning, you go to class, maybe you have class at 8 a.m. in the morning. It was crazy, you know. But you do what's this, what is it called, lesson plan. You just write it with your pen, you drop it there. It's you that knows how you want to run your class. No one is gonna argue with you. Do your lesson plan, throw it there, we move, you know. So China, it was just smooth, but I hated the waking up in the morning part. But here I have the luxury to wake up anytime I want. 12 o'clock, 1 a.m. Saturday, Sunday, I work from 2 to 9. I have 4 classes Saturday, Sunday. But during the week, I can even go work with other companies and make more money, you know, even more than what I earn in my school. So it's just that now schools are closed, so I'm not doing that. But like, hey, I don't like pressing anything on computer. Even phone annoys me. Talk less of laptop. But now my laptop is my friend, and this thing is my friend, because I have to get the work done. So yeah, guys, I had to pause that before this camera will fail me. So yeah, the thingy, the workload. You go here, like you work, and I will obviously complain, because we meant to complain as human, right? It's not a big deal, but 50 students. Now I have 142, because some of my students were reduced to give the new teacher. Now I have 142, but I'm still doing his report because he doesn't know those kids. So I'm still the one doing reports. Then after doing reports, you need to sit down with the parents and read out the report, you know. And I'm just like, why did I have to type it? Why can't I just come and sit with the parents and explain, you know? So you go through the whole process of writing, printing out, and sitting down with the parents, and, you know, tell the parents face to face that this is how your child does in class, and the parent doesn't understand. Then there must be an interpreter. Then, and those parents, you attend to them one by one. It's not like this meeting where there's like 30 parents for 30 students. Now, one by one. In China, me and which parents want to sit down, you know? So yeah, I don't know, maybe there are people that are doing the same in China, I don't know. But with my experience, I worked with a primary school, I worked with a training center, and I also did like my boss, the one that had the training center, also had like a kindergarten. So I would sometimes go to the kindergarten, but I never had to do all that, you know. So the workload, Instagram, please, the workload. Now, number 4, I'm just gonna mention this, which is like, you know how curious these people are, Asians, when they see blacks. If I'm to compare it with China, I don't know whether I should say that Vietnam is better or I don't know, but I feel like Vietnam is better when it comes to that. Like, the curiosity is there in them, you know, looking at you and all that. My students still do the whole thing of spanking my ass, and, you know, sometimes they want to touch me to feel like it's like they're wondering if I'm real. I just don't know, the whole thing of hair, you know, they'll touch your hair, but it's not the same as the way it was in China. Because in China, somebody would enter, like, find you at the shop, right? You are buying something, and then you look at them because you want to intimidate them with your eyes, that don't you dare take out your phone to, you know. And somebody will pretend as if they're making a call, set their phone to be on video, then they'll place it like this and turn with you with style. They are recording you, and if you don't know, you'll think that they're on video, you know. They used to do stupid things, that they used to go like far to get, you know, like to record us, to take pictures of us, you know, like the curiosity is just like, yo, it's very high in China. It is the same here, but they stay. I feel like with Vietnamese, they stay. Yeah, with Vietnamese, they stay. There's a woman that found me the other day. I was with Edwin. We were buying chicken in some street, whatever. We went to buy chicken there, and this woman just came and spanked my ass. There's a video that I posted here where we went to the market and one girl just came and also spanked my ass. So they also do, but like it's not the same as China. Oh my god. At the airport, at the train station, when I used to take a train to go to Wuhan, oh my goodness, you will feel like it's like God, open a hole, let me enter, let me just disappear. But here they stay, and you know, but it's somehow mild. In China, oh my god, it's too much. It's too much. So yeah, and the last one I'll talk about, I'll just talk about the country in general, in terms of development and all that. Obviously China is advanced. China is, guys, China is China. China is China, like I said, in everything. Like China is China. Vietnam no reach. Vietnam is a learner. Vietnam, they're still learning, you know. Yeah, but if I will talk about work, I feel like I love how we work here in Vietnam. You know, China also, we use smart boards and everything, but there's more of hard work that you put in China than here. Here there's no much hard work because everything is recorded on what I like about our students, everything is there on the smart board. You know, you want to read a story, you just play and the story plays out. You don't need to read a story, you don't need to do much. Answers are already on the smart board. The student just have to press and the answer comes out. And you know, like everything is made easier compared to, it is the same as China, but China you still have to put a bit of work and what. And I like the fact that we don't do demos for parents, whatever. Here you just do, there's a structure that you have to follow, but teacher happy is teacher happy, and teacher happy is experienced. So when I come, I tell them the structure is robotic, allow me to do me. And so that you don't tell me that, oh, you need to, because there's this whole thing of structure where they tell you 15 minutes, 10 minutes you do greeting and warm up, 15 minutes, like they time you. You don't time me. So I've made my company understand that you cannot time me. Allow me to do what I know how to do best, and you'll see the outcome will be good. Because I'm just teaching I'm teaching my student van, cab. Where are you going to meet a foreigner and talk about cab? Like, let's just be realistic. Like, where are you going to meet a foreigner and say cab, van? You need to know how to say hello, how are you? You need to speak, you need to, how old are you? You know, things like that. Know how to communicate. You don't know the basic things and you're saying cab, van. You know, so with my company, they understand. I spoke to them and they're like, okay, do you just make sure at the end of the day, whatever we want you to teach the student, you teach them. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have time for the gallery book, I'm gonna have time for the palette, I'm gonna have time for the phonics and all that, but at least, you know, let's just also teach them this. So they do understand. But this whole robotic, in fact, people are being paid for nothing in these countries, just to wrap it or sum everything up. People are just paid to just play around with kids. Imagine you get to class and you just have to teach MNOP, you know, and under M they put words that start with M, a map, you know, map, mop, or whatever. And then, you know, just teach them those words and you just play around. You sing music, they press from the screen, and you get out of the class and you get your money. At the end of the day, we'll complain, but like the work is the most easiest job that you can ever do. The thing is, one thing about working is that even if it's your own business, right, you still get tired at the end of the day, you know, to get clients, to market, to, you know, always have to strategize, you always have to. So there's no job or business that is easy. So yeah, I think I've covered it all. If you have any question concerning anything, please do drop it on the comment section. But these are the things that you should know. And especially when it comes to salary, you want to know that if they say that, okay, we're going to pay you 40 million Vietnam dong, that 40 million Vietnam dong, they're going to take how much? They're going to take 20% of it. So after they take 20% of that 40 million, which is going to be like 9 or 8 million, they're going to take that. So it's no longer 40 now, it drops to 32 million, right? And then maybe let's say your house is like my house, you're paying 7 million, and then from that 32 million you take out 7 million to pay your rent, and every month you spend 3 million or 2 million on transport. You know, you minus that, and you have groceries obviously of like 2 point something to 3 million. Then you take out that, and then you see it's going down to, it's now going close to 15 million. And then you have family back home, they expect you to send something for them, and then maybe you send them 5 million, then you're left with 10 million. 10 million is not up to 10,000. I think I sent 13,000. I sent 13,000 rand just 3 days ago, and 13,000 was 15 million something. So you see, so I know that there's someone working in ShopRite earning way lesser, like, you know, the money that you're gonna make here obviously will be 10 times 10 of what you would make at home, right? So if you come here and you still manage to save up 5k, for you it's just like, oh thank God. I know, right? I know, but I'm just saying that you need to, it's very very good for you to compare. And obviously after the hard work, especially when you're far from home, still save up enough to start something for yourself back home, or maybe invest, man. Like it's just, I've said a mouthful, guys. That's all that I can share for now. If there is anything that you'd want to know, obviously drop it in the comment section, and I will definitely do a video and answer your questions. I also wanted to do a video with Edwin, but she's just been going through her own stuff, so I never want to disturb her because she was in Thailand. So I would like to know how it is teaching in Thailand, but I know that Thailand doesn't pay, Vietnam pays better. So you see, somebody's in, because I spoke to a lady in Thailand, and I think her salary is like 15,000 rand, you know, in Thailand, and I'm just like, 15k, dog. And she's like, yeah, they're paying her 15,000 rand. I'm just like, wow, you know. She's from Lesotho, so I know that they pay less in Thailand, but Vietnam is better than Thailand, then China is better than Vietnam, you know. So there's always a better place, right? Like there are places like Saudi, Qatar, they pay mad, like good money. So it's also very important that you do your research. Yeah, know what you're putting yourself into. Not when you get to a country now they shock you, you know, the salary come and you're just like, what's this, you know. So it's very important that you do your researches. And yeah, guys, that brings me to the end of this video. Recently was approached by a company, not really approached. So as I mentioned that I was stressed about my visa, and I was like, this company, they are playing with me. They don't want to do my visa, just until I saw that they actually granted me 2 years. I was like, oh no, they are playing with me. So a friend had me complain, and she mentioned it to a school that is a primary school, and the school said, we want you. And the school said, we are giving you 100 hours. That is a full-time job. And I was just like, wow, I am blessed. If I'm not lazy, not that I'm lazy, but I'm just saying, I'm still going to meet with them anyway to discuss 1 or 2 things, but meaning I can earn more in that job, more than what I'm earning from my school, and I can keep the 2 jobs, because with the primary school I don't have to work Saturday, Sunday. I only work Monday to Friday, right? Meaning I work in the morning and afternoon. So what is going to strain me is having to finish working there around 4, and then 5:30 I go to my work. But it's doable, meaning at the end of the day I can be here and actually take like close to 80k rent home, you know, if not more. I can actually take 80,000 rand home, if not more, close to 100 million Vietnam dong a month. So, you know, opportunities are here, but what I came to realize with Vietnam is that you have to work your butt off, you know, before you can complete those extra runs. But yeah, so this brings me to the end of this video. I hope you learn one or two things from this video. I hope you understand how Vietnam is. And you know, with all that being said, I'm not saying that Vietnam is bad, because we are here, we're surviving, we are okay, we are doing good, we are happy, you know. Yeah, the only thing that is my problem is the fact that I'm far from my loved ones. But other than that, man, it's okay. As much as, like I said, transport, this, but at the end of the day, we still get to work and get the work done, you know. The money we're spending is a lot, but at the end of the day, we still, like, I'm still okay with what I'm able to take home or take to my savings, or, you know. So yeah, guys, yo, I've said a lot, I've said a mouthful. So yeah, guys, please go ahead and subscribe. Yeah, if you know somebody that wants to travel, recommend the video for them, let them watch, let them know. So right now, China is fucking up our people, you know. As a black person, we should always just, you know, have it in the back of our mind that we'll never be preferred. Where there's a white man and there's a black man, a white man will always be preferred, right? So you don't want to compare yourself. And as a South African, you stand a chance because you have a native's passport. What they consider us to be natives, right? They say we are native speakers. Then our Nigerian brothers, they are the one that, you know, get change. Uganda, you know, all these other countries, they're the one that struggles. They don't even get permits here. In fact, when I was telling them that I was granted 2 years, they were just like, 2 years, you know. So our passport is good, and I just wish more South Africans can just be open to traveling, man. Like, we have opportunities out here. And like I always said, teaching is just not only in Vietnam. There's Japan, there's Taiwan, there's China, is it Kazakhstan, you know, there's Qatar, there's Saudi, there's South Korea. A lot of countries are employing, like, they want teachers, they want South Africans to come and work. So if you're seeing this video, shout out. If you need help by any way, I don't know what it might be, but you have questions to ask me personally, go follow me on Instagram at forever__pretty. That is PREDDY, forever__pretty. So go hit me up there. There is a guy that texted me last time. He saw my video from YouTube. Do I mention his name anyway? His name is Ndumiso. Shout out to you if you're watching this video. I'm sure he's in Vietnam right now. And when he texted me and said, I heard you talk about Vietnam getting job, and I said, okay, let me put you through like this, like this, like this, like this. Guess what? Ndumiso got a job, but not only him, his friend and 2 more people. When the friend contacted me, said, I got your contact from Ndumiso and about job this, job that, and there are 2 other people that we are bringing along there. You know, I was just like, you know, I always say that getting where I am today, I was assisted by someone. Therefore, I honestly do not mind assisting anyone. I did not collect money from anyone. I did not collect shishi dime from anyone. In fact, right now there are 2 people that are fighting because of money, because this one said give this person a job, and after giving this person a job, then this person is going to pay this, whatever agreement they had. And right now they are fighting because the other person, once they got the job, right now the person is in Vietnam and he got the job, and whatever their agreement was in paying each other, the other person doesn't want to pay. So just have your test or have your degree, you know. Come to Vietnam, come and work. We'll put you through with good agents that will not scam you, that will not take your money. And if there's one thing that requires money, obviously, is, you know, your certificates, your TEFL is money. To do it is not for free. So yeah, before I say a lot of things here, let me love and leave you guys. But yeah, that's basically it. Get out there, go hustle. It's not easy. We see our country is even exploding. Things are exploding in Joburg, you know. It's not easy. Like, it's not easy. So please go out there. Don't be scared to take risk. You cannot make it without taking risk in this life. So no one is coming to save you, no one is coming to do it for you. Do it for yourself. Go out there and hustle. Peace. Bye.